On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. There's literally like 4 types of messaging going on right now. There is essentially the black hat push, which, by the way, is overwhelming majority of the messaging. Overwhelming majority, like 80+% of the messaging that is hitting us, bombarding us, like solar radiation, is negative information. It's all meant to make us doubt what's happening, to make us doubt certain people, to make us just doubt in general. It's always, again, your choice to choose how you choose. Now, I would say the white hat push is definitely a proponent of this or part of this. But unfortunately, there's where a lot of people fall into, there's the third section, which is commentary. There's a lot of people out there that panic. There's a lot of people that are worried. Now, some can say the opposite of that is hopium, I guess. But there's also the understanding of the bigger picture at what's happening and being able to, again, step back from individual situations. I've been mentioning this a lot because I think it's very, very important for us all to understand. You step back from the individual stories, you get that 40,000-foot view. And now you can start to see multiple things simultaneously. And rather than looking at each individual thing as a thing, you actually start to look at all of the things as a larger thing. That is what is very important to understand right now, because very few people get it. And then there's actually a fourth messaging. Some of you maybe get it, some of you maybe don't. I think a lot of you guys get it, but you may not realize it, but it's direction. Every once in a while, you'll just come across some random weird piece of thing, and you'll be like, huh, and it'll cause you to move in a direction. That's also unique. It's not necessarily black hat or white hat. Sometimes it could be either that gets you moving in that direction. So we are going through a change. There is a destruction happening. Now, you choose to believe it, choose not to believe it. I'm happy to wait until it's over, and then we can talk about it further and be like, oh, okay, you were right, Dan. You didn't know at the time, though. I'm like, no, I did, but I get it. You can't prove it. I can't prove it. I have no way to show you guys what's going to happen in the future. I just know it's going to work out really swell for us. I know it. You can feel it, you can see it. A lot of other factors at work. And again, none of it's like provable. So many people want to be the one that's got the source. So many people want to be the one that's got the information. So many people, you know what? I'm just a dude holding a flashlight, doing my best to help any of you that make this make sense to. And I think that is key, at least for me. It helps me sleep at night. At least that's for sure. So we've got some interesting stuff. I wanted to start with here, because this is just freaking funny. And then we've got some dead people to talk about. But Chuck Norris is already dead. We've already talked about Chuck Norris being dead. But he is the king. Chuck Norris is awesome. And this was just well done. Check this out.
Look now, Chuck Norris is right behind you.
I heard superheroes read Chuck Norris comics.
I heard at night the boogeyman checks under the bed for Chuck.
I heard Chuck Norris's reflection won't even look him in the eye.
I heard when cops need cops, they call Chuck Norris.
I heard when Chuck gets in the water, sharks get out of the ocean.
I heard when Chuck Norris is hiking, grizzlies look out for him.
I heard Chuck Norris rise in water without the sniper.
I heard Chuck Norris wears a hat to protect the sun.
I heard medicine takes Chuck Norris to feel better.
I heard what actually killed the dinosaurs was Chuck Norris.
I heard cats say they have Chuck-like reflexes. I think he's still got it.
I bet you $1 he catches the salt shaker.
You're on.
Hey, Chuck!
You owe me $1.
It's just an excellent man. Excellent man. At least I think. I don't know. He definitely was all the things that he claimed to be. He was a legitimate fighter. I think he was undefeated. He was very good. He was an excellent fighter. Now, Donald Trump, he truthed about Robert Mueller. Robert Mueller passed away. Apparently, it's Parkinson's related, which is the next story, so we don't need to spend any time on that. And most importantly, everybody else is speaking about Donald Trump's post in regards to it. Now, again, black hats are pushing very hard that Trump is such an asshole. Okay. You know, Trump was completely attacked. His entire family was attacked. They were run through the ringer, right? This dude has zero love for Robert Mueller. Zero. And I would, honestly, everything that he's been through, I would kind of hope he almost did have zero. Now, these are harsh words, but he didn't exactly wish him dead prior, so I feel like he's okay. Donald Trump, truth this, Robert Mueller just died Good. I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. President Donald J. Trump. Yeah, think he's mincing words? No. Now, interestingly, I just put it here because it's dead people. Buffy the Vampire Slayer star, Nicholas Brendan. I'm assuming some of you all know who this dude is. I never once watched this show. Not really into vampire stuff. Never watched any of the, what's the other vampire show that everybody was into? The romantic vampire stupid show. I don't even know the name of it. It's so not something I'm into. But I figured maybe a bunch of you guys care about this guy. He passed away, 54, young man, whatever. And arguably attractive, I guess, right? Some of you are probably like, he's totally attractive, Dan. I'd love to get stuck in an elevator with him. Hawaii having crazy, crazy weather. And it's continuing multiple days. So they haven't been able to burn the entire state yet, so now I guess they're trying to flood them. They couldn't raise the oceans, which would have been the effective way to do it, so they're just like, we'll just rain on Hawaii a bunch. Whatever the case is, that's pretty serious. Check this out. What's like weird to me, and I know this is just ignorance, so forgive, but there is a place, like you think you would see all the red water going into the ocean or something, right? Like, they're higher up. You would think this shit just drains off, like it's an island, right? It's not like you're 200 miles inland and it's got nowhere to go. It's got to find a river or something or make one. Anyway, it's definitely a trip. Now, I'm also putting this out because it's directly related, and Saturday, Sunday, today's Sunday, they've been painting our skies like crazy here in Southern California. Painting our skies. They're doing it again today. 2 days in a row. Massive grids. I mean, it's just they're blocking the sky. They're doing kind of a piss poor job. Normally when they do this, it seems like it gets cloudy. Like literally causes like clouds. I mean, it's making cloud streaks, but not the whole sky. So I have no idea what the hell they're actually doing. I know everyone and their uncle has their theories. I think there's many, many, many reasons for chemtrails, and I don't think all chemtrails are the same. Again, I think this is far more complex. Many people like to simplify it. I think there are some planes that spit shit out, but I also think they add stuff to jet fuel, so regular planes do it, and if they put them at the right altitude, it creates this scenario. So there's a lot of factors. I've dug into this, and a lot of people just stopped at, there's planes flying. I've got a picture of one that was back in 1978, and it was flying and turned it on, or it was 80-something, or whatever, 90. I don't know. The plane picture that I remember seeing where it turned on accidentally is pretty popular, and I just don't think that's all the cases. I just don't. I know people get mad at me when I say that, but I seldom think things are as simple as they say. Now, another thing that I think is also funny in this regards is, here's Lee Zeldin. I think that's who this is. He's going to talk about this database they've put together for the geoengineering. None of the top secret classified shit's going to be in there. The only thing they're going to talk about is the history of geoengineering. And any of you guys that have been even remotely curious about chemtrails, you've probably already been exposed to all the geoengineering history that's out there. It goes way the hell back. It goes way back, like 100 years, man. It's been going on forever, and they got really heavy into it in the 50s, and then the 70s big time, and then it just got more and more. So hear this, but understand we're never going to hear all the shit that's happening. This is stupid. It's like Epstein.
Know as much about these topics as to anyone who's ever looked up to the streaks in the sky and asked, what the heck is going on? Instead of simply dismissing these questions and concerns as baseless conspiracies, we're meeting them head on. We did the legwork, looked at the science, consulted agency experts, and pulled in relevant outside information to put these online resources together. Everything we know about contrails to solar geoengineering will be in there. That means that anyone who reads through this information will know as much about these topics as I do as EPA administrator. To anyone who's ever looked up...
Yeah, so, and he just repeats himself there. Sorry, I wanted to make sure I stopped it in time. They don't know anything. Again, frustrating. This is pretty sweet. Donald Trump Obviously, his young son, who's very much a Trump, and many say is a space traveler, or a time traveler, which I think is a fun story. I mean, I don't necessarily give it credit per se, but it's a fun story. It's possible. Who knows? Anything's friggin' possible. But I love the way he handles this. I love the stupid cone hat. And I love that Trump's holding the cake. And I love what Barron does to get the crowd amped up a little bit. This dude gets it, man. If anyone's going to be president next, it's probably Barron. Dude's so like his dad, right? Like that look on his face at the end. That is crazy. I guess I can put myself back on camera. What the hell, huh? Let's try it. Let's see what that's like. This is just funny. This is one of those things where, like, just the video, the 20 seconds is worth it. And this dude with the white headband, this guy right here, it'll go bigger here in a second. He's 6'8". The dude with the white headband is 6'8".
Now you're standing there, you see him standing next to Hassan Diallo, who's 6'8".
And look at Hassan Diallo looking up at Ali.
6'8". It's like,
I love the way he looked down on him at one point. You know, he looked down, like he's like, Jesus, this dude's a monster. And he is. This guy's huge. He's like, yeah, sorry. I can barely hear you way down there. I don't know what his accent is. I'm just making it up, but yeah, whatever. Making basketball white again, I guess. That's kind of cool. TWC.health/OTF. They've got some amazing products. First off, if you want to get telemed and stuff like that, you can actually get a lot of prescription stuff through these guys, through their memberships, save money. But it's legitimate prescriptions and stuff that's also like supplements and whatnot. They've got a mixture of all sorts of amazing products. They've got it by goal, like what are you trying to accomplish? They've got different collections that are really good to look at. The ivermectin series is one I talk about all the time. The Parasite Cleanse, highly recommend. Do a little research into what parasites are and what sort of illnesses they tend to be affiliated with, or to put it in safer terms, the way they act like. See, there's certain things that happen, cancers, for example, the way they happen, the way they cause certain things within the body. Parasite infections, if you will, if that's a proper term to ways, how parasites infect us, but it's much the same. Very similar things that happen that do with cancer. So it's kind of weird. There's some very interesting studies. And again, I'm not saying I'm a doctor, but I am saying that the Parasite Cleanse was amazing for me. I even had red moles, like many of them. I got 30 of them maybe in my whole body. Not that too much info. I apologize, but many of them turned dark, and they're still dark actually. I've been kind of chilling on it for a little while, and then I think I'm gonna hit it strong again here in a little bit and finish up the bottle. And it is, I've just noticed some very interesting stuff with it. It's done a lot of helpful things. Some of it I don't want to talk about because it helps keep me from experiencing sicknesses, for example, right? Like it's done a lot of really amazing things. So the Parasite Cleanse is something I just cannot say enough about. They've also got ivermectin. You can get the 18 milligrams. I have ivermectin myself too, as a separate thing, and I use it frequently. I've also got some HCQ, which I don't think they have on their list. I wonder why. But you can get that however you might. But they've also got appetite weight control stuff, really good. That is actually pharmaceutical-based stuff. They've got anti-aging stuff, so stuff that's supposed to help with the way our bodies kind of break down. And they've got, what is another one I saw? The opioid-free pain relief. I haven't heard from anyone in the audience yet. Now, I trust the wellness company like crazy. So twc.health /OTF, twc.health/OTF. Unquestionable, the company's great. I've bought a bunch of their products, fantastic products. But I understand some of the pain stuff. I've had friends that are addicted, are addicted. I don't know, maybe still. It's been years since I've seen them. But opioid pain relief, that's opioid free, I should say, pain relief. And for many people, that's like those that are maybe trying to get off what's that stuff coming from fentanyl? Trying to get off fentanyl. A lot of people are on this product. They've been prescribed it by a doctor, and now they're friggin' addicted to it. It's crazy how it is. So again, They do have a version of that. You can call and talk to their doctors. That's one thing that's really cool. Go to twc.health/OTF and talk about this. Maybe this might be a way for you to go as far as it's supposed to be. People are saying it works. I haven't heard any of you guys say it, and that's where I really, really believe it. Also, TheraBlue is a pain gel that you can use. It's kind of like, I don't know, like Bengay or something, but it's probably better, frankly, slightly. But I don't know. It is what it is. I've never really looked into it. Pain gels are awesome, though, just in general. Pain relieving, it's peptide gel. I don't know what it smells like. It's got a little bit of menthol in it, so that's probably what it smells like, which is nice. That's basically what Bengay is, I think. But yeah, fast-acting relief, deep absorption, cellular energy support. It's got the methylene blue and stuff in it, which I wonder if I hope it's not blue in color, so I don't know how that works exactly, but definitely would, if it's in there, it's helping you. Maybe they're able to bleach it out the blue part, because, man, that was the thing. I tripped out with methylene blue the few times. I was doing it for like, I don't know, 3 days or something. Turned my pee like crazy colors, and it was just like, it was kind of weird. It was just weird. I don't know. I didn't feel any different per se, but yeah, but yeah, my pee turned green or sometimes blue. I felt like I somehow ate a Smurf, and I was like, what happened to me? What? Oh yeah, that's right. This shit. Fuck. So anyway, I don't know. Light, non-greasy texture, no staining, no residue. So anyway, there's just a lot of incredible products. I've also talked a lot about the meat stuff they've got. They've got beef boxes, the wellness farms. The whole wellness farms is foods. They've got liver, bison liver capsules. They've got the fish, mega fish oils. They've got broccoli sprout. They've got all this stuff that's like super healthy and ways to get incredible proteins and aminos in the body. And on top of that, they've got amazing beef boxes. I've said before, I haven't finished it yet, but I've got the Cattleman lean meat. Loving it. I think I've eaten one of the London broils. I don't know if I've had the Denver steaks yet. I've definitely had one of the tri-tips. I haven't tried the short ribs. We even looking at the same thing? We're not. Because I had, I feel like I had a filet in mine too. Oh, it was excellent. I guess they change them up every once in a while, apparently. I want to get I like the ribeye. Ribeye is one of my favorites. I also like the ground beef. Anyway, so I'm going to get that one soon. I'll let you guys know soon, but I'm still trying to finish up the first one. Man, I buy so much crap because of the advertisers we have, so that's why I sometimes do giveaways. Anyway, it happens. You got to try it out. I try it out anyways. I want to believe what I'm talking about, and I want to make sure I've had it so I know, But again, the ivermectin stuff, I can't say enough about. The contagion kit's got the ivermectin in it. Medical kits have a whole bunch of amoxicillin and all sorts of antibiotics. That's a really good one to have if stuff gets weird. Again, I don't know, man. It's hard to say how things are going to play out. But this is one of those things where it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And that's why I bought firearms. I loved shooting. I enjoyed shooting my whole life. I've been shooting since I was 4. I love it. It's just fun, right? But I never I don't need to own a gun until stuff got weird. And then I'm like, I'd rather have one just in case. So I have 4, just in case. In case I drop one, in case I need options. You guys get it. Any of you guys that are Second Amendment friends, you get it. All said, go to twc.health/OTF. twc.health/OTF. It's making me hungry. They also got beef sticks and stuff. They've got some great stuff. It's a trip. I don't know about whipped tallow cream. It sounds delicious. I don't know what that's about. It's probably for your face or something. Hydration, restores skin barrier function. Again, they got all this crazy stuff. It's vanilla smelling, I guess. So, fellas, if you want your wife to smell like an ice cream cone, there you go. Get some of that. That'll be delicious. twc.health/OTF. twc.health/OTF. Truth by Donald Trump. And this is really getting into the opening the government again. And Trump's got a badass idea. And I love it. Now, we're going to get into some of the specifics of that, if you will. A lot of people kind of went crazy at first, but no. It's the crazy parts, just they're actually going to be doing the important parts, not the stupid stuff. No offense to any TSA people out there. No offense, but, there's certain things you guys are skilled at and trained really well at that ICE never learned. But there's things that ICE does on a regular basis that you guys have trained at. They're probably better at it, in all honesty. They do it more with real people outside of your little perfect environment. So Donald Trump puts this out. If the radical left Democrats don't immediately sign an agreement to let our country, in particular our airports, be free and safe again, I will move our brilliant and patriotic ICE agents to the airports where they will do security like no one has ever seen before, including the immediate arrest of all illegal immigrants who have come into our country, with heavy emphasis on those from Somalia who have totally destroyed, with the approval of a corrupt governor, attorney general, and Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, the once great state of Minnesota. I look forward to seeing ICE in action at our airports. Make America great again. Yeah. No, yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Now, we'll get into some of the nuances of that. Donald Trump also follows up with, the radical left Democrats have hurt so many people with their vicious and uncaring ways. What they have done to the Department of Homeland Security, our fantastic TSA officers, and, most importantly, the great people of our country, is an absolute disgrace. If the Democrats do not allow for just and proper security at our airports and elsewhere throughout our country, ICE will do the job far better than ever done before. The fascist Democrats will never protect America, but the Republicans will. Just like the radical left allowed millions of criminals to pour into our country through their ridiculous and dangerous open border policy. The Republicans closed it all down, and we now have the strongest border in American history. Likewise, I look forward to moving ICE in on Monday and have already told them to get ready. No more waiting, no more games. President Trump, you see, ICE is already funded. Trump's throwing it down on the deep state. All right, you don't want to open up the government and put TSA back? Guess what? Can you think of a better way to go? No, the deep state is getting destroyed. What stories are we hearing in the media? 90% of it put out by the black hats, the wrong people. Understand that. And unfortunately, most commentary out there doesn't get that. Some does. Most of it does not. It's your discretion to figure that out, because honestly, that's the important part, is you figuring that out. You might like someone just to like them. You know? It's like some people I've pissed off because I talk about how hot Alice Tang was. She's gone. I somehow got her fired, I think. And now an NTD requires an email. I can't even use their stories anymore. It's horrible. Oh, well. Elon Musk, he posted this, and very curious if this is something they could take him up on. Because wouldn't this be awesome? Think about the big picture, not the story, the 40,000-foot view. Elon Musk says, I would like to offer to pay the salaries of TSA personnel during this funding impasse that is negatively affecting the lives of so many Americans at airports throughout the country. What does that do? Well, that puts TSA agents kind of in line with a lot of interesting people right now, doesn't it? And it puts them kind of against a group of people that think they're so morally funded and authoritative. Yeah, the Democrats are falling into a horrible path here. It's pretty awesome. Dem Rep Walkinshaw, he says, we rejected Trump's DHS offer. I hope he'll feel pressure when spring break travelers suffer. That's what he says. I'm not going to play it because it's a waste of time. Don't worry. ICE will be there. It's cool. I hope there's no illegals traveling through those airports there. Democrat person. Senator Welch, he's actually on there with Kennedy. I'm going to play this because, in all honesty, I felt this was kind of cool. It's slightly slow. 125 will work. So we're going to play this one out. They're talking about the DHS funding, the problem they're trying to figure out how to pass this. Kennedy's got a good point that he rebuts, and both of these guys are colleagues and friends. You can tell the respect. It's interesting because, many of us on the commentary side are like friggin', pitchforks or, candles or Bic lighters. I don't know, whatever the hell. Probably Bic lighter would be a better analogy. Whatever the case is. We've got a pretty good thing here. Check it out.
Senator Welch, Democrats have gotten some concessions from this administration, whether you're talking about Kristi Noem, whether you're talking about some of the roving patrols and having Homan going into Minneapolis. Is there a certain point where you do need to compromise once? You're seeing these long lines at airports. You're seeing voters frustrated with this shutdown. No, they're very frustrated, and I am too. There's two things that I think are really important. One is, I want to fund
every single thing where we don't have any disagreement. The only place where we do have a disagreement is ICE. And of course, that follows what happened in Minneapolis, okay? It was a tragedy. So I can have a different point of view than President Trump on ICE. And that's a fair and square debate. And voters can decide whose position they prefer. But there's no impediment to us opening up literally every other element of government that's affected, like even the Border Patrol, TSA, the Border Patrol, the Coast Guard.
Why is that
FEMA.
not happening? What's standing in the way of that?
Because there's a hostage-taking kind of approach, and that's the mutual back-and-forth accusation that we're holding it hostage or they're holding it hostage. But the bottom line here is we really do have an issue with ICE. And it's a complicated one because of what happened in Minneapolis. So
well, it doesn't look like the hostage taking is going to go away. Whoever is the one taking whatever hostage.
Peter's raised a really interesting point.
Yeah.
Here, and I would agree with him up to a point. Let's open up everything but ICE. Okay? Let's open it up.
Do you think you could get your colleagues to agree to that?
But, if you let me finish. But I can tell you what's going to happen next. The Republicans are going to put a reconciliation bill on the floor that only requires Republican votes to fund ICE. And the Democrats don't have the vote to stop us. Now, that to me is a resolution to this. I don't think my Democratic friends are going to like it, but that's what's going to happen if we do it that way.
Is there a compromise that Democrats could accept that doesn't get everything that you all are asking for?
In all candor, with what has happened with ICE, I think it's very hard for us to come to some agreement. Okay, yeah. But that should not impede us from being able to open up the whole rest of government. The other reality is that ICE got forward funded about 3 years in the one big beautiful bill. So this is, ironically, it's not really affecting ICE. And if we were able to open up the rest of government and focus on the ICE issue, it may allow us then to have, I think, a discussion that's overdue. The border's secure now. It wasn't under Biden. You say that, and that's true, all right? There's the consensus that we should deport criminals. But there is a lot of concern in the country from Republicans and Democrats about what you had of a mass roundup where we were going to construction sites, we were going to farms, we were going after people who don't have legal status, but who came here sometimes as kids, have no criminal record, and are contributing members of the community. So I think it's ripe for us to have a sensible discussion about a reasonable immigration plan in a reasonable way to deal with some folks who don't have legal status.
Well, and we are in a moment where there are changes at DHS. Just this week, we had the confirmation hearing for Markwayne Mullin, Trump's pick to replace Secretary No.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, I want you to listen to this moment, though, about Minnesota when he was questioned on this.
You called Alex Preddy, quote, a deranged individual that came in to cause max damage. Could we expect those kinds of quick responses if you are confirmed as secretary? Would you be basically, well, you did, you responded as Secretary No. Are we going to just expect that same behavior all over again?
No, Senator. I have a deep amount of respect for you. We've had our differences, but I do respect you. I think I said this privately when we had a conversation. Those words probably should have been retracted. I shouldn't have said that, and Secretary, I wouldn't. The investigation is ongoing. And there is, like I said, there's sometimes going to make a mistake, and I'll own it. That one, I went out there too fast. I was responding immediately without the facts. That's my fault. That won't happen as Secretary.
Senator Welch, how do you think Senator, soon potentially to be DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullin has handled this process so far?
Well, I appreciate that statement. That's just a straightforward acknowledgement. It's like John when he said on the bombing of that girls' school, that was a mistake. There was a lot of candor. And it just, I think, reassures people that you got somebody that is going to acknowledge the obvious. But, you know, this is a moment, it's what I was saying, John, where I would like to see us get into a broader discussion about where we go from here. Because we have secured the border, we are deporting criminals, but we do have an issue here with these mass roundups. A big concern I think a lot of us on our side have is that Markwayne Mullin is not ultimately the person who's calling the shots. It's Stephen Miller, and he's got, my point of view, extreme commitment to this mass deportation. So we need some real trust building, and we need some change in policy.
I absolutely, just love the candor. I love the candor. Again, I don't agree. Trump doesn't agree. Kennedy didn't agree. Well, Trump doesn't either. But these two are being respectful, are talking back and forth. And again, they're on C-SPAN, so you can't exactly be like, yeah, F you, your face. That's what Somalia does, not here. Now, I did laugh at the one part where they were talking about how enforcement was happening, how uncomfortable they were about that, and I'm like snickering. I'm like, and they're going to be in the airports on Monday. Oh, man. Oh, that's going to piss you guys off. Wonder how long that's going to last. I wonder how many people get deported just from doing that. Was that what the plan was all along? Again, 40,000-foot view. This is helpful. So we've got an department shut down. Okay, guess what we're going to do? We've got to keep airports safe. You insist that we can't pay the people that need to do that. This is beautiful. Now, all the people screaming about midterms, you guys are way ahead of yourselves. You seriously need to pump the brakes, and you need to give things a chance. Because one, remember, again, 40,000-foot view, remember, Americans in general, probably mostly people too, anyone that uses social media, say it that way, your attention span is about 4 seconds, okay? That's it. So if we don't run this right up to when it matters and then make a lot of noise about it for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, however long this is going to go, then it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to get across we're not going to get it across the field, the end zone. We're not going to make it. People will wear out. They know that. It's like at sea, when you're at battle. That poor Ronald Reagan carrier, it needs to come to port. They need to at least be able to pull them back. Hugely. They had that fire. They've got, they've been out at sea a year. Normally it's 6 months. So yeah, they need to get back to port badly, and we need to repair and get ready for the next thing. Remember that 40,000-foot view, guys, especially when you're getting fixated on certain things, because there's emotion involved oftentimes. There's a lot of, especially with my religious friends. The Islamic thing, again, I'm not pro-Islamic at all. I'm a little more cool with Muslim for sure, but not Islam. And again, people can say whatever they want. I'm not trying to be a dick. I think we're all God's children, period. Okay? Unless someone's literally trying to harm me directly, not someone saying they are. And again, we just went to war with Iran because they supposedly have, are this close to. So again, I mean, we all remember Iraq. I get you. But we do see things playing differently. Ted Cruz suggests splitting ICE CBP funding from DHS funding, which is just what Kennedy was talking about. Here's Tom Homan, though, talking about, I think, and if not, I'll fill in any details. I switched this out for another story, but I felt like he would say it better. We'll find out. But here's Tom Homan talking about how ICE will be involved at the airports. And again,
put together a plan today, and we'll execute it tomorrow.
Okay, so there are a lot of questions here. First of all, are ICE agents even remotely trained to handle security at airports?
ICE agents receive a high level of training. And, the ICE agents are assigned at many airports across the country already. They do a lot of criminal investigation on smuggling at airports. But, there's got TSA agents covering exits, people that enter through the exits. Certainly a highly trained ICE law enforcement officer can cover an exit, makes people don't go through those exits, entering the airport through the exits, and that stuff like that relieves that TSA officer to go to screening and to reduce those lines. So wherever we can provide extra security, I don't see an ICE agent looking at an X-ray machine because they're not trained in that. There are certain parts of security that TSA is doing that we can move them off those jobs and put them in the specialized jobs, help move those lines.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. So what you're saying is when you move ICE into airports, they are going to be just around the exits and the exteriors. They're not going to be helping people get through the lines and screening people's bags.
Those discussions are going on now. I'm not expert at TSA, so that's why I'm talking to the TSA administrator and the ICE director, find out where we can fit in. We'll have a plan by the end of today where we're sending, what airports we're starting with and where we're sending them, but that's a discussion we're having right now. I ended the discussion to do the show, and I'll be back having the discussions when I finish. So it's a work in progress, but we will be at the airports tomorrow.
We have the best people in our administration right now. And again, for the first time in my life, I don't actually feel like this is political. I actually feel like, I don't know about you, but I feel like we're taking back this country. Finally. Personally, something I've been hearing about, been understanding since late 80s, early 90s, right around there was where it really started to dawn on me, like, oh. And then just evolution of thought and understanding a lot of the lies, and just like a lot of you guys, when you wake up, you're like, fuck, they've been lying about everything. It's like, yeah. And trust me, everything. There is not one belief you have that's not affected by them. promise you. Zero. Everything you hold near and dear, at some point, you're going to have to look at. 100% of you. All of us. It was tough. It's not easy. But, believe me, you'll be okay. And it doesn't change anything, per se. It changes your understanding of it. That's the difference. It's the difference. So don't be scared. It doesn't change what your core belief is. It changes the way that affects, the way that impacts you. You'll see. You'll see. Sorry, I don't know. This is one of the harder parts. It's just going to be. And I'll tell you. Love you guys. Sorry. You don't even have to agree with me on that. Here is Tim Burchett talking about getting the Senate to pass a bill to defund the Taliban. If this is straight up, there's got to be a bunch of writers or something, but I love Tim Burchett, dadgum. Here he is. He's like Forrest Gump. He's like the Forrest Gump of the Senate, I feel like.
You're talking about your bill to stop funding the Taliban.
I'm sorry, yes, ma'am, to stop it. It's been sitting in the Senate. It was like pulling teeth. And here's something else. You talk about the deep state. We had a Democrat staffer, and I've got several videos. It's not something taken out of context where he says favorable things about, we're working with the Taliban, and you don't work with a bunch of cutthroats, ma'am. You know that. You've seen this multiple times more than I have. He was the ambassador to Afghanistan, basically. Under the Trump administration, his security clearance was pulled because of all these statements and his leanings. And now he is the chief advisor to the Democrats on their Foreign Relations Committee, and they blocked this thing forever. It was like pulling teeth to get this thing out. And they had one committee, and this is a Republican-controlled committee, ma'am, and they had one meeting this year so far at the time, and they did it a month or so ago. What the heck are they doing? I always say when I'm doing interviews, I always say, you see that thing that just ran by us? And they said, no, what was it? I said, it was a glacier. A glacier just ran by Congress. That's how slow we operate. And America is sick of this stuff. And and people ask me all the time, does it tick you off that Donald Trump does all these executive orders? Heck no, because Trump realizes he's not going to get through Congress because they don't have the guts to do anything.
100%. 100%. Good on you, dadgummit. Good on you. Senate, they're going to work through the weekend. Yeah, try to get the SAVE Act passed. You feel better? I just wanted to... They're going to work through the weekend. You ever had to work extra hours? These guys crack me up. These entitled bastards getting paid while the government shut down. Fuck you guys. I'm sorry to use the F word so early on. Well, it's 37 minutes in. We should be okay. Ish. John Thune reveals the Senate is about to vote. I don't know. We'll see what the hell he says. I haven't actually listened to this yet. But I think this is part of the plan.
During the pressure of the president and the right, why would you eventually move to end debate on this if this is so important, especially to the president?
Yeah, well, we haven't made any final decisions about how to conclude this.
You will file cloture at some
point? At some point, that's a possibility. But at the moment, what we are trying to do is ensure that we are having a fulsome debate on an issue that is overwhelmingly supported by the American people, and one that puts everybody on the record, one way or the other. And so today, obviously, we're going to have a vote later this afternoon on whether or not biological males ought to be able to vote or ought to be able to compete and play in women's sports. But then we will move to something that Senator Husted addressed, and that was the piece of legislation he tried to get brought up and passed on the floor and objected to by the Democrats the other night. And we will move to that, put that, every Democrat on the record. So the photo ID amendment will be the next amendment. And I think all these things in the Save America Act, as we've all said, are common sense. We think they're supported by an overwhelming majority of Americans. And in many cases, as Senator Husted also pointed out, you have 36 states that have adopted photo.
Yeah. And here's the thing, John Thune, and thank you, by the way. Again, I give this guy, I've told you guys, being honest, I'm giving him a little leeway because what his job is insane. And anyone that doesn't really appreciate what he's supposed to try to do, you don't understand what a tough job he's got. It's one thing to be a douchey senator. Easy. Okay? Lindsey Graham. Easy all day long. Douchey, 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 douchey. All right, he probably, whatever. John Thune's actually got to bring them all together. Again, I don't know if he's a good guy. He could be a piece of shit. There's all sorts of evidence in the past to suggest that. What I look at is the right now. I don't give a crap about 10 years ago. I really don't. at this point in history and time, no, I don't care. Don't give a shit. Judging everybody by what they're doing right now. What would you do just yesterday or maybe the day before? Outside of that, I'm going to give you a little leeway. What are you doing right now? You want to change your mind? Because people are going to change their minds. Let them. Don't be dicks. Give people a way out, right? You don't corner a rat. You kind of try to, so it'll go a direction, right? You don't corner it because eventually it's going to attack you. Be smart, guys. Be smart. We can do this. I know we're doing it. We're doing a kick-ass job, too, by the way. You guys, freaking your ripples, dude. Oh, man. You guys are rock stars. Comey's apparently getting subpoenaed. We'll have Catherine Herridge, I swear to God, I don't mean this to be disrespectful, but she looks like a boy. She looks like a boy that was transitioned very early in life, and it doesn't makes her, she's still an awesome newscaster, but I've never been able to let go of that. She looks like someone that was 3 years old and their parents started giving them hormone stuff. And I don't mean that to be mean, Catherine. If I somehow ever meet you, it's going to be really tough to meet some people in real life if that ever happens. Oh, well.
It looks like former FBI Director James Comey is going to escape prosecution. Mm-hmm. And you think what?
Oh, I think that he should be prosecuted. I don't think that there are people, probably career people within the DOJ, have no interest in this. There are people, I think, who are even more guilty than Comey. From the start of the Obama effort to falsify intelligence on the Russians.
And who falls into that bucket?
Brennan, of course.
That's the former CIA director.
John Brennan, to me, he's the definition of government gone wrong. To me, he's also the definition, like Comey, of a demon prowling around the world seeking the ruin of souls. Brennan is a bad man. And I think that my understanding is there's not just one way to go for him. There are many ways he left himself vulnerable. If we don't pursue them all the way down to the minutia, then we have no hope for our republic.
I mean, aside from my stupid commentary, right? This is all painting the picture of the thumbnail. The bigger picture right now. The Brennans, Comey and Brennan, both. They're actually the thing down in Florida, right? What do they call it? Whatever. It'll maybe come to me. If not, it doesn't matter. You guys know what it is, right? They're doing a little court thing, but it's not really a judge. I can't remember the stupid word. Whatever, it doesn't. You got to let it go sometimes. Just let it go, Dan. All right, whatever the case is, that's happening. It's moving forward. Grand jury, thank you. Whoever was already screaming it at me, probably get 1 or 2 emails you watch. Because it took too long. It's okay. It's all right. It's my bad. You guys, your thoughts caught me. Many of you are already watching me before you realize it. That's kind of the funny thing. CBS, they've slashed their staff. They're shutting down their radio division. This is obviously, I didn't work for CBS, and the company I worked for, I considered Satan, and I don't hate them as much as I used to, that's for sure, but I tried to infiltrate Satan. I crawled up his butthole, I'll tell you that. I did that for you guys. Did a good job, too. That said, CBS is shutting down. Especially radio, too, because radio's so fucking stupid now at this point. I'd love to just do a whole show on radio and just the bullshit and the stuff I learned. There's so many of you guys that think you know everything, and it's just funny because the way it's public, it's just public in general. It's managing the public, and that's one of the biggest things I learned in radio is the public. It's a trip. People as a group are freaking crazy. And the way they've got us diced and sliced, oh, it's disgusting. You guys, I'm seriously, I got nothing to hide. Oh, you very much do. Very much do. You should leave your phone any place where you aren't as often as possible. That would be my best advice for you. Ever. Which no one will do, but you should run over it with your car. What if I have an emergency? I don't know, make smoke flares or some shit. I don't start a fire. Make SOS with rocks. It depends where you're at. I don't know. Have options. Georgia appeals court rules Fulton County can reject GOP election board picks. It's more of the same bullshit. How deep do we really need to go into the story? They just ruled on Friday. It's another bullshit court. It is their appeals court, by the way, which is difficult. So they're obviously going to probably have to push it to the state Supreme Court. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. They're saying that to give credit, they're allowed to say no to the two choices and say, hey, Give us 2 more choices. Well, they could still put 2 more Republican choices forward. And this is what this is supposedly all about. So it's not necessarily a Democrat victory, but we'll see. We'll follow as best we can. PG&E, gas and electric. I don't remember. Public? I forget what the P is. It's not. I've never been with them, so I've always been Edison, unfortunately. Whatever. You know, the when they broke the monopoly up. That said, they give him a bunch of money to Swallowswell, and he's a California guy. Apparently, they've given him $113,000 while he's vowing to cut rates. How much do you want to bet that's a bunch of crap? Now, I got to give the guy credit. He looks like Jack Reacher, kind of the dude on the Prime show, Jack, a little bit. Now, I know that kind of ruins that a little bit, but they seem like they're not going to make another episode. What the fuck's going on with you guys, Prime? Come on. I actually met a dude at Catalina. I swear to God, I asked him to his face because he looked exactly like him. I'm like, are you like a double for Jack Reacher or some shit? Like, I'm sorry, it's such a stupid question. And then I kind of feel bad because after that, there was like a couple dudes hanging out with him. And I'm like, oh shit. And I turned to my friends. I'm like, I hope I didn't just accidentally hit on the fake Jack Reacher. Like I didn't. Oh no. That was a funny night. It was very funny. Whatever. You might not see it. You know what's funny? Paxton trouncing Cornyn in the new Texas runoff poll. It's a poll. Who knows? The survey gives Talricchio 43% to 41% lead over Cornyn and a narrow 44%, whatever. Paxton's winning. He's leading Cornyn 53% to 37%. Man, it's just a bunch of polls. Keep pushing, guys. I don't know if I'm wrong. I got a bunch of people from Texas that are in my email range. Dude, tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong. You don't have to tell me I'm right. I don't need to hear that per se. But tell me I'm wrong. But Paxton's the choice, right? Cornyn's a pile of shit. I've followed this long enough to know Cornyn is a rhino. Period. Giant capital letters on RINO. He's a pile of trash. What I would rather call a piece of shit. It's simpler. Really means what I feel. Much better than a pile of trash. That could be useful. There might be some useful things in that trash. I don't know, but a piece of shit, I don't want to. Well, you can put it on crops. All right, whatever. My fucking analogy just fell apart on myself. All right, you saw what I was talking about. Mike Johnson, he's facing potential attendance problems. Congress is facing attendance problems. Everybody doesn't want to deal with the shit right now because they're all trying to run for re-election. I think we should pay close attention to who is not really showing up, and we'll try to get some numbers, but who's not really showing up and who is. Because the people that are actually care about what's happening, and the people that don't care about getting reelected, and the people that care about getting reelected, well, yeah, let's go a lot of ways. We'll see who the names are. I'm kind of curious. It's more of it'd be one of those data points where I'd want to pull a report and be like, it's kind of mixed. Okay, these people are all got you. They're in tough places. They want to get on it. So, so there's probably some factors in there. I want to paint with a broad brush sometimes too. I'm guilty. I am. Yes, Speaker Johnson, not just him. Like I said, both sides. I could give the numbers. Doesn't matter. People aren't showing up. Qatar, they used to be the biggest liquid natural gas exporters in the world. And guess who's number one now? Bitches. Us. USA. It's us, baby. It's us. Today is Sunday, so there is no markets. I'm very curious about market. Everything's so broken right now. So broken. Again, just 401k, IRA. I would move money. The fact that gold's gone down as much as it is, which is not going to stay there, this is an anomaly, and I'm not trying to sound like somebody that's trying to speak for it. I don't care. You're going to see, but I feel like this is a buying opportunity. I would take advantage of it. Gold is the shower of inflation. It's not the thing you get rich on. So the fact that it's, the dollar has somehow become super valuable? No, that's impossible. So this is horse shit, what's going on right now. Futures, we've got silver. It's down to 67. Dude, I'm telling you, it's going to go up to 250, 300, 350. I mean, especially with what's happening with the Federal Reserve needing to come down. We've got a war with Powell. Big picture, 40,000 foot view, guys. Whatever. You can do what you want. But for those of you that actually want to protect buying power and maybe probably make some money on the silver's the sweet spot, by the way. And they're going to give you up to 10% free silver. That's the sweet spot. If it's sitting right now at 67 spot, and you buy it, and it goes up to 250, even if you bought it at, I don't know, sometimes they charge way over spot, whatever, 125. I'm not saying Goldco. I don't know what their numbers are, but even if it's a 125, you're like, all right, whatever. I got some silver. Yes, and it's going to go way higher than that. It's totally going to go higher. It's going to double from that. This is, I don't think we're going to get another opportunity, and I don't think we're going to get a better opportunity to get in. For everybody that waited and thought this is the moment where we're kind of just sitting on the precipice and things are about to get interesting. Big time. Europe's going to come down in some weird way. How bad that is, don't know. I don't think they're trying to fix it. Trump is trying to save America, but the rest of the deep state world is not trying to save themselves. Well, Japan is. Hungary is. Turkey is. Right? Chile. Argentina. Well, I don't know about Chile, but I think. And Argentina. Colombia now. Venezuela now. Ecuador now. Panama now. Look at what's happening. So we're kind of getting controlled and prepared and good. Rest of the world's going to have a big hiccup. This is going to affect things. It's going to become 3 different markets, 3 different poles, 3 different everythings. So protect what you can. A lot of foreign money is in our U.S. stock markets. Futures are saying they're going to go up, but it really depends. Oil is still sitting at 98.81. This is one of the big drivers, it seems. Crypto was showing down earlier. We'll see if it stays there. Still seems to be. So up 68 again, right? Bitcoin got up to almost 75 again. I was shocked. I mean, usually it was having a hard time breaking 70, at least for the last month or so. XRP at 139. So again, things are happening, guys. DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. 401k, IRA. 401ks are different, depends. There's some rules. If you got an IRA, that's an easy transfer, period, end of story. 401ks, hit the numbers up, find out what's up. You might not even be able to. Pensions, you can't. Just can't. Depends with stuff. So I would, if you're in a place right now where you'd like to protect some of what you've got in there and be able to buy the same thing with it tomorrow, that would be a good idea. Go to DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. Get out of their system. Stop letting them play with your money, right? You can keep putting money into that system. It's still going to grow. It doesn't matter. 5% is 5%, 10% is 10%, but what you protect is what you protect. DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. Get out of that system, for the system gets out of you. At least getting out hurts less. New Mexico, they launched a first-of-its-kind legislative truth commission. They're digging into this Jeffrey Epstein thing. I feel like for some reason they're trying to get on the radar or something. Or my guess is control the investigation, because I don't trust New Mexico authorities at all. Unless the FBI is involved and Cash is like, all right, so we're going in there and this is us. So I think this is a cover-up. I don't think they were ready for this, and I think they're like, shit, we got to get in there and sanitize this place as best we can before we let anybody else show up. That's what I feel, but the story is they're going in and they're taking charge and they're going to make it happen. All right, you say it. Federal judge blocks the Pentagon policy restricting reporters. This is horse shit, but whatever.
Federal judge is blocking the Trump administration from enforcing policy limiting new reporters' access to the Pentagon. The judge says the key portions of the new rules for the reporters there are unlawful. He says the Pentagon policy illegally restricts the media credentials of reporters who walked out of the building rather than agree to the new rules.
Well, you got to agree to the new rules. This is funny. So again, it's the judge that says you don't have to agree to the rules. You can just do whatever you want to do, because the rules specifically state you can't go into restricted areas. You can't report stuff that's classified. So the judge is saying, oh, no, yeah, you can. That's over there stepping their bounds. This is military. Again, everyone's talking. I'm just going to say this real quick, too, for everybody. Okay, there's a lot of people I have mad respect for that constantly keep talking about how the military's in charge and the military courts that are going to handle this. Guantanamo's got 1780 fucking extra things now. I'm actually wondering if they've got a death chamber, by the way. I was going to look that up. I haven't done it yet. Maybe some of you guys can do that if you feel so entitled or whatever. Inquisitively Inquisitated? Who knows? Yeah, if you feel so much. But yeah, I'm curious if they've got a place to actually put people to death. That's it. Firing squad, sure, you can shoot people anywhere, but that's sort of uncouth, and I don't think we do that. So anyway, whatever the case is, we'll find out. And I only think that because of the judge. Biden judge reverses RFK Jr.'s ban on transgender surgeries for minors. This is awesome. This is awesome. I think the Supreme Court's actually supposed to be already kind of looking into that. I honestly think these judges are trying to get their names on the headlines. They love it. They love it. So he's probably loving the fact that I'm talking about him, that he's an absolute douchehole. So U.S. District, I hope to God I never out in front of these fuckers. But if I do, it doesn't matter. At that point, something's very much gone wrong. So yeah, I'm probably going to get railroaded. There's like I'm not going into that thinking I'm going to have a bright side. U.S. District Court Judge Mustafa Kusabhai makes me want to burp. Yeah, Mustafa, apparently Judge Mustafa said, yeah, no, they can absolutely do that. That's not, you can't stop them. This is fantastic. Basically talking about cutting, young girls' boobs off and stuff along those lines. Maybe other things. God, I hope. Anyway, it was just disgusting. Trump admin sues Harvard for failing to back Jewish. All that. They're like, yeah, we do. We're totally taking care of it. And they're like, no, you don't. These people get attacked and spit on and, blah, blah, blah. They feel unsafe. So they're going to have that thing in court. Trump administration supporters furious over federal judges' rulings, but face an uphill battle to remove them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The point of the story. They are only able to essentially impeach them. It's got to go through the House. They do it, and then the Senate's got to vote on it. I believe it's a 60% vote in the Senate. Murphy explained in his 45-page ruling that the reconstitution of ACIP likely violated federal law, including Federal Advisory Committee Act's requirements for balanced membership and relevant expertise, as well as procedural requirements under the Administrative Procedures Act. He also stated all prior votes taken by a reconstituted panel and postponed the upcoming ACIP meeting. That's all the people that voted to get rid of. Now, the only people that they feel should be in there, it says public health groups, including the American Academy of Pediatrics, argue that the Trump administration's changes bypassed established scientific processes and could undermine public confidences in vaccines. The judge is supporting this. That's exactly what they're undoing. It's exactly what RFK Jr. is undoing and Trump is undoing. Confidence in things that don't warrant confidence. So Murphy's decision sided with those groups and echoed their concerns. It'll be appealed. Don't worry. And it'll probably be lost too. I'm not going to read the whole yellow part, but I did read it, and it does, it does agree with what they've simplified. So we'll go with that. Declassified CIA MK Ultra documents openly discusses drugging entire populations. Substances were placed in food, water, Coca-Cola, alcohol, cigarettes, even vaccinations to slowly induce anxiety, hopelessness, tension, and depression over time. This isn't a theory. This isn't fiction. This is real government paperwork. This is only page 1. Read it again. Now, here's the thing to keep in mind. The way you do any test, you don't just do it to everybody. You don't just put it in all Coca-Cola products. No. You poison a specific area, either a batch or a number of batches or whatever. And then you send them off to the areas and see what happens. Now, it makes me think of the West Coast, but like Portland, Seattle. Like, there's some really crazy shit that goes on there. People seem to be tolerating, like not upset with. And it's like, well, how are you not unhappy with this? This is not good. How do you rationalize that in your mind? It blows my mind personally, but whatever. That was way back then. I mean, just imagine how good they are now, right? They use it through the phones and flickers and all. I tell you guys, well, and other things too. But then now I sound like the crazy person. I understand. I get it. UK House of Lords rams through abortion up to birth. So yeah, the Brits are going to allow you to kill babies. I mean, that's what they do, I guess. Go Brits, yay. I mean, I know a lot of them don't agree with it, but Iran's, first off, this headline's wrong. Good job, Zero Hedge. That's actually wrong. It's not the first use of intercontinental ballistic missile. It is the, as you correctly type down here, it was an intermediate range IRBMS. That's actually correct. Your headline is a fucking lie. That pisses me off. Whatever. I'm still using their sources, but I just explain all the places where they're wrong. I feel like Tyler, it's always Tyler too. Tyler's one of the worst. And he does most of the stories. I think he probably owns the place. He's probably going to get pissed at me too. Watch. We'll see. Trying to get on his radar. Let's see what happens. Maybe I'll get some bad publicity from him. Because again, I share his stuff, so there's no bad publicity. We took it down with an SM-3 interceptor missile. They shot Diego Garcia. This puts it outside of the range. This is surprising everyone. One of the things about the range that's really surprising people is the fact that the range where Diego Garcia is, one didn't quite make it, they say. I think it got intercepted in a different way. We're just testing shit too. We're just like, there's 2 missiles, please. Let's test this thing on that one. And all right, we'll just shoot this one down with a regular rocket just to prove we can still do that. And they did. Might have shot 2 SM-3s, blow up 1 intermediate ranged missile, whatever the case is. It is in range of now London, Berlin, Paris, Munich, Rome, Oslo. So all these people saying, can't hit America. Well, technically they can hit NATO targets. Which is like the same thing as far as we're concerned, right? If anything happens to NATO, we have to come to the rescue. But if anything happens to us, they don't have to. It's a fun little one-way road. So yeah, good on you guys. You guys could all have been hit. So you kind of got to see this because it's so crazy and they actually have the volume. So you're going to experience it. I guess you should say this is graphic content. It's not. No one dies. Well, I don't know if anyone dies in this. But it's an Iranian ballistic missile striking Dimona, Israel. And forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. But this is, well, what's happening right now. This is a civilian area, too, which is kind of fucked up. Well, Dimona, I think the area is militarily in some way. But, yeah, here it is. Right? That's like, wow. Like, that's pretty crazy factor kicked in there. Here is Admiral Cooper talking about Operation Epic Fury. It's update from the 21st, which would be yesterday, Saturday. And hopefully this, and it is on the, U.S. CENTCOM. So this is, basically what's up, where we're at. Again, this war's almost over. The messaging's been interesting. It's one of the things I've kind of stood back and sort of watched is how often they do it. Who is it? When do they do it? Sometimes it's Cooper. Sometimes it's Raising Cane and Hegseth. It's fun. So whatever the case is, I've been enjoying the ride myself. I don't know about you guys.
Hi, I'm Admiral Brad Cooper, Commander of U.S. Central Command, here for my 4th update on Operation Epic Fury. On day 22 of combat operations, U.S. forces continue to take bold action and remain on plan to eliminate Iran's ability to project meaningful power outside its borders. Just 2 days ago, the U.S. Army launched the longest field artillery strike in Army combat history using precision strike missiles. The strike took out Iranian military infrastructure, demonstrating the U.S. military's unmatched reach and lethality. Iran has lost significant combat capability over the last 3 weeks. We are taking out thousands of Iranian missiles, advanced attack drones, and all of Iran's navy, which they use to harass international shipping. Their navy is not sailing, their tactical fighters are not flying, and they've lost the ability to launch missiles and drones at the high rates seen at the beginning of the conflict. Our progress is obvious. U.S. forces maintain air superiority over Iran's skies, having now flown over 8,000 combat flights. Our air crews are performing exceptionally across the fight, from tankers to fighters and bombers, to land-based and carrier-based aviation doing a superb job. Tankers are extending our reach so that we can keep constant pressure on the enemy. Fighters and bombers are delivering precision strikes against our primary objectives, and our pilots across the board are dynamically hunting threats as well, finding and eliminating targets in real time. So far, we've struck over 8,000 military targets, including 130 Iranian vessels, constituting the largest elimination of a navy over a 3-week period since World War II. My operational assessment continues to be Iran's combat capability is on a steady decline as our offensive strikes ramp up. While U.S. forces continue to sustain overwhelming offensive firepower, I want to recognize our air defenders mounting a coordinated defense against Iran's attacks. We have built the most extensive air defense umbrella in the world over the Middle East right now. This is thanks to years of investment alongside our allies and partners to build a robust and integrated air and missile defense architecture. For more than a decade, books have been written about the concept of a Middle East air defense. Today, it's alive and well. Our Gulf partners, in particular, have defended against thousands of Iranian drone attacks, a clear demonstration of the strength of our partnerships as we work shoulder to shoulder. We also remain zeroed in on dismantling Iran's decades-old threat to the free flow of commerce throughout the Strait of Hormuz. For example, earlier this week, we dropped multiple 5,000-pound bombs on an underground facility located along Iran's coastline. The Iranian regime used the hardened underground facility to discreetly store anti-ship cruise missiles, mobile missile launchers, and other equipment that presented a dangerous risk to international shipping. We not only took out the facility, but also destroyed intelligence support sites and missile radar relays that were used to monitor ship movements. Iran's ability to threaten freedom of navigation in and around the Strait of Hormuz is degraded as a result, and we will not stop pursuing these targets. At the beginning of this campaign, I sent a letter to the more than 50,000 American servicemen and women supporting Operation Epic Fury. For our forces serving in the Middle East, I'd like to reiterate 3 key points. Number 1, be relentlessly lethal. We have the momentum. Number 2, be a great teammate. Continue to take care of one another. And number 3, steady your resolve. For we stand on the shoulders of giants, American heroes who have served with tenacity, grit, and honor. Fall back on your training. It is the best in the world. I just could not be prouder of our warfighters, and I know that the American people share in this same pride. Thanks so much. Godspeed.
All right, tried to do a couple things there, so hopefully it came out okay. I'll say IDF Iron Dome operator was arrested. It was a spy working with Iran. He was telling them where all these sites were and stuff. So this is interesting deep state stuff going on. Again, this is a deep state operative that got taken down. That's what this story's about. Now, IDF IDF Iron Dome. I don't know why drone. Anyway, operator was arrested. He was within the Israel military. And again, this is one of those things that kind of makes them look bad. They got busted. This is going down. People, trust me, anybody that's doing crypto stuff when it comes to exchanges thinking you're secret, it's like, no, it's the opposite, actually. It's funny, kind of, actually. But anyway, whatever the case is, we have Senator Ron Johnson, who I think might be possibly one of the decent ones, reports that brave Iranian people are directly calling on airstrikes. They're literally calling him in. They're like, dude, seriously, this is where he's at right now. Dude, this is crazy.
Senator, just big picture, where do you think we are in the course of this current campaign dealing with Iran?
Well, Charlie, I think right now the main objective is to degrade Iran's ability to destroy targets within the region, and certainly degrade their ability to continue to clog up the Strait of Hormuz. And I'm sure what President Trump is trying to do is degrade it to a point where our allies will figure out it's not as risky as they're assessing it is right now, and they will come and start escorting ships so we can open up Strait of Hormuz. I mean, that's crucial we do so. I think it's also crucial that we can't let this job undone. Leaving the Iranian regime standing, not completely weakened, not certainly threatened by the Iranian people to have it taken over, I think would be a mistake. But the greatest hope I have there is reports I'm reading where Iranians themselves are calling in airstrikes to their leaders, and the leaders are running scared. They're hiding in tents. They don't know where to run. I think President Trump's probably right. We're getting down to the third layer of leadership. Now, they've got a lot of layers. They've got a lot of people in the IRGC and the Basij, and these people are brutal. I mean, they executed 30 to 40,000 of their own citizens, just hung some young people, top flight wrestler. I mean, it's grotesque what these people are doing. That's why we can't allow them to stay in power.
Truly. Well, if you wind up with a much degraded regime, but that degraded regime remains in power and the Strait of Hormuz opens up, would that be considered a success in your mind?
Probably, as long as we retain the right and ability to continue to degrade further leadership and make sure that they can never reconstitute their missile manufacturing capability, their drone capabilities, and never reconstitute their nuclear enrichment.
Yeah, I hate when this happens to me, but it's just the problem. Went wrong. Like, I'm wondering if Jim Jordan was like, this guy that got hung is like really hits me close, Like, I don't know if I can come close to his voice, and I'm not trying to. I don't mean any disrespect. I love Jim Jordan, but like, he's a wrestler. He's like, I was a wrestler. I was close to this. So it's like, I know, not trying to be mean. I just realized that I think it's just funny. Everything's funny to me. I can't help it, guys. I've been through this for so long. I went through 9/11, and you all were assholes, right? So come on, have a little levity. Finally, at least. Jesus. Saudi Arabia takes President Trump's side again and has just expelled Iranian personnel from their embassy. Yeah, he's like, Saudi. He got the world. There's 23 countries, something like that, nations. Just issued a joint statement about the Strait of Hormuz. So, I don't know, UAE, UK, France, Germany, Japan, Canada, South Korea, Australia, plus 15 others. Condemn Iranian attacks. Yeah, it's fucked up when you do that. It's not cool. You see what's happening? The force, the big picture, 40,000 foot view. Just trying to say. Yeah, all of this is... and Trump's like, we don't care about it. I think I have it somewhere. We'll see. Israel's just declared a mass casualty event. He did post that on Truth. I'm hoping that's the Truth post up there, but meh. Israel has just declared a mass casualty event after an Iranian ballistic missile caused over 100 casualties in Arad, including a 5-year-old girl in severe condition. But the fake news will spend all day telling us how President Trump and Secretary Hegseth are evil. Again, black hat information, 90% probably. White hat information. Q posts, a lot of people, it's not a gospel, it's not a Bible, but there's a lot of stuff in there that's meant to be there for good reasons. So again, it's a great playground. Let's call it that for sure, unquestionably. There's no wasting time over there, I don't think. Well, depends, but not everything's everything. But I don't know, whatever. The Bible codes too, you can do that with them, right? It was this time at and then all that. Well, shit, if I turn to this page, like, you'll probably find some crazy shit, man. I'm telling you. Someone's saying they got maybe a solid look at the RQ-180. And this is the stealth drone. It's basically, it's like a mini. They thought it was a B-2. And it was like, that's not a B-2. You're an idiot. And so that's what happens when you say stuff like that, when you're kind of wrong. When you're close, though. Anyway, this is the drone. It's smaller. It's a smaller version of it. But it is stealthy as hell. So this is one of the things that God knows what extra cool stuff it's got in it. Because if you think about it, if you're going to put it in the stealth craft, you're not just going to put like a radar dome on it. Like, I don't care about radar. I could fly that away from, easily. No. I'm going to put crazy, top secret, classified, nobody knows about, and they can't know about. Like, this thing can't ever get shot down kind of stuff inside this thing. That's what you put inside that thing. Anyway, someone's seen one. That's cool as hell. It's already been rumored. The drawings were, in all honesty, it's kind of stupid. Maybe it's because they scrubbed any legitimate attempt at it. But in hindsight, I want to say hindsight, because I looked at the pictures before. I don't ever, again, I'm just open-minded. I'm like, eventually we'll see one. I don't fucking know. But the fact that it looks like the B2/B21/ it looks like that too, right? Shouldn't surprise anybody. This is, I think, Lockheed, which the book, if you guys have ever read about the guy that started up, I forget his name, but yeah, oh my God, it's an incredible story. Incredible story. Lockheed's Boeing, how far you've fallen. Hopefully they catch up. Phantom Ayatollah Iran and McDonnell Douglas, by the way. Shit. Phantom Ayatollah, nobody's seen him still, by the way. Still, nobody's like, no heard hide nor hair. That's the cardboard cutout of him. Russia, they've offered to stop offering assistance to Iran if the United States will stop offering assistance to Ukraine. I wonder, I mean, first off, this is on the National Pulse, so it's questionable. But if that's even sort of true, that's something Trump would do, kind of, but that's douchey. You publicly do that. That's douchey, right? Would be awesome. Be awesome. I would love it. I would do an entire video just on it, maybe. Who knows? But that's, oh my God, so good. Donald Trump truth is, we are getting very close to meeting our objectives as we consider winding down our great military efforts in the Middle East with respect to the terrorist regime of Iran. 1. Completely degrading Iranian missile capacity, launchers, and everything else pertaining to them. 2. Destroying Iran's defense industrial base. 3. Eliminating their Navy and Air Force, including anti-aircraft weaponry. 4. Never allowing Iran to get even close to nuclear capability, and always being in a position where the USA can quickly and powerfully react to such a situation should it take place. And 5. Protecting at the highest level our Middle Eastern allies, including Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Kuwait, and others, probably 15 of them. The Hormuz Strait will have to be guarded and policed as necessary by other nations who use it. The United States does not. If asked, we will help these countries in their Hormuz efforts, but it shouldn't be necessary once Iran's threat is eradicated. Importantly, it will be an easy military operation for them. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald Trump. Now, one hidden little factoid that I think is legit and was the plan by the deep state, was one of their big cards right now, was this anti-shipping missile that China makes that's very potent and at a 20 to 30 nautical mile range at best would be scary. We know they want to do it. We know that was the plan. That was always the plan. And what Trump's basically saying is, go ahead, other countries. We've got everything else, which we do. And there's no way we look bad on this. We're like, we're not sailing through the straits. You kidding me? I've already got 3 carrier groups here. Are you shitting me? Come on, guys. Do something. Now they're finally starting to do that. Finally. Iran ready to let Japanese ships use the Strait of Hormuz, and we've even got this because it's kind of funny because some agreement's been made, they say. But Japan has signaled it is willing to help the Strait of Hormuz. And they show a picture of Godzilla. You guys remember those good days? Godzilla. Donald Trump truth. Now with the death of Iran, the greatest enemy America has is the radical left, highly incompetent Democrat Party. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump. Booyah. You feel it? I feel it, you know? That was like that Adam Sandler moment. Nearly 300 Ukrainian drones were shot down overnight. So it kind of makes me sort of chuckle a little bit because Ukraine's the one that they're like, all right, you go to the Middle East and you tell everybody how to shoot down the drones with your little doohickey that you got. Okay, everybody loves us. And they got these little stupid things, and it's cool. It's helping Ukraine. Good on them. I mean, it's awesome, right? Creating targets. But Russia, on the other hand, is doing what they're doing. And I feel like I've seen their version of the drone. It's the same thing. I've seen it on both sides. RT News is pretty good when it comes to Russia stuff. I mean, Russia's not like us. Russia's technology is very rugged and very effective and does what it needs to do. They're awesome. I love Russian people. They're very, very awesome. Our shit's just like over the top, dude. We're just like how can we make that even better? And they're like, Russia's like, why would you do that? It's not a problem yet, but it's like tomorrow it will be. And I think a lot of Russians are like, yeah, that's a good point. So it is that place where you're like, I want to be even better. We'll wait extra time and make this thing so smoking hot you won't even know what happened. Whatever the case is, Russia's shooting them down. Zelensky's issuing new deadlines to the EU saying, when are you going to let me in? Let me in. Not by the hair, my chinny chin chin is what Hungary's basically saying. And yeah, Zelensky, being the powerful big bad wolf that he is, he's like huffing and puffing over there. He is. He's going to blow down that door. But there's no way he's getting in. I mean, he's talking tough talk. It's fun as hell. And I think everybody that's paying attention on the outside of this soccer match, if you will, are just laughing their asses off because it's like, Zelensky, you're so screwed, dude. You are screwed. And it feels good. Apparently, the FBI is warning. I feel like a Politico story, so forgive me. Yeah, that's who posted it. FBI Director Kash Patel has announced that Russian intelligence-linked cyber actors are targeting users of commercial messaging apps, including Signal. Our government hacked Signal or hacked people using, again, I've talked about this a lot. Signal's awesome because it's encrypted from user to user. So user A, user B, encrypted. So if anyone's in the middle of that, right, and they try to cut the wire in the middle, right, you're sending it from them to them, and they're like, right, that thing we've seen in the movies, they can't intercept it. It's encrypted. You're screwed. But there's so much software out there that's able to infect phone A or phone B, and if you infect either of those phones, or both if you're really crazy, if you infect either of those phones, you've got the encryption key. You've got the conversation. It's not that big a deal. So, please understand. Encryption's just from that moment to that moment. That's it. They just get the device. The device. This is what will be our devil. That's your mark of the beast right there. None of you guys want to say that. Oh, I need it to. What if something happens? Me. Illinois approves massive data center amid public backlash. Here's the thing, they need the money, but there's the talk about the water. Again, I don't know how potable the water needs to be. I'm sure they can filter it prior to, so they can use like nasty water. Second off, they make it sound like the water goes away forever. Like they're just sucking water and it just disappears. It's not how it works. They use the water for cooling and then it gets spit back out. Now, they maybe could recycle some of it, but it is nasty. I just went to a car wash the other day that they somehow went to recycled water. It just smelled so bad. It was so bad. It was disgusting. Car is sort of clean, but it smells so bad. California, it smells so great. Jury finds Elon Musk guilty of misleading investors. This was for the purchase of Twitter. Beforehand, he was asking about the bots. How many bots? And then somebody said 5% or something like that. And he's like, I think it's higher than 5% or something like that. That tweet caused the price of Twitter to go down because he basically said, I'm not sure if I want to buy it. And because of that, the price went way down. And then all of a sudden, he's like, now it's a good idea. So he bought it. And whatever the case is, they said he was guilty, but they kind of held back on it a little bit. Where did they say it up here? Temporarily, Twitter deal was on hold. But whatever the case was, they said that, here it is. The nine-jury delivered verdict Friday stating that the tech billionaire did mislead the shareholders who sold Twitter's share at a lower price as a result of his announcement with tweets. However, it also found that there was nothing wrong with what Musk said on the podcast and that he did not intentionally scheme to mislead investors. So it was kind of like, if he sold because of that, he's guilty, sort of, but he didn't really do anything wrong. So I don't even know what that means. I don't think anybody does, frankly. So there we are. We're at the next phase of our lives. I love you guys. We're going to continue to rock and roll. A lot of things are probably going to happen this week. Trump it's 3D. Just step back, 40,000-foot view. You appreciate the view. It's like the IMAX. If you sit too close, you're just like, it so hurts, right? Now, get back a little bit, and you will be amazed at how all the little pieces are popping and why they need to. This is changing the world. Trump is taking down the cartel, deep state, everything. It's happening. It's pretty sweet. Where we go one, we freaking go all, baby. It's on the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle.